Let's talk about our hip abductors, moving away from the body, our lateral compartments of the hips. The first one is gluteus minimus, gluteal surface of ilium, your hip bone. Around the mid part, there is a gluteal line here. Fibers go here and connect to anterior part of greater trochanter. It does hip abducting, hip flexing, and medially rotating the hips. In order to strengthen, you do the exact same function. You can use small tools. You can use resistance bands, or you can just use the gravity. So I will just use the gravity. You can add it resistance band on the ankles as well here. Lying down on the side, top leg lift, flex your feet, and kick forward, so you're flexing your hips. Now here, medially rotate your femur bone, your thigh bone, so make sure your toes are not turned in or out, nicely parallel to the ground. Now from here, lift and lower, lift and lower. Make sure your toes don't move too much. Find the center for your medial rotation on the hips. Do the other side. If you want to stretch, you do exactly opposite function. So move your feet wider than your hips, sit nice and tall, hands behind your hips, give a gentle push. From here, drop your knees to the left side to stretch the right side, gluteus minimus. Now from here, we will lean back to extend our hips. If you have a bolster or a cushion or a pillow, you can use it here, so you don't really give a pressure on your lower back. So drop it down and walk your elbows back to lean back. Here, you look over to the right side and gently press your right hip down so you can laterally rotate your hips. And hang around here for a little bit, like maybe 3 to 5 breaths, and come to center, switch the sides. Dropping your to the right side, look over left side and drop your left hip slightly down so you can stretch left side gluteus minimus. Come back. Next hip abductor we're going to talk about is our gluteus medius. Gluteus medius is broader, so it's right under iliac crest, and here go all the way out and then connect to posterior part of our greater trochanter. Overall function is same as minimus, but it has posterior fibers. So posterior fibers also extend our hips and laterally rotating hips. In order to strengthen, you can do same as side leg raising, but we can also work on our posterior fiber as well. So I will show you. If you want to strengthen overall function, same as gluteus minimus, kick forward to flex, medially rotate, and leg raise. But posterior part is you extend hips, laterally rotating hips, toes turning up towards the ceiling, and then we do leg raise on extended hips, laterally rotating the hips. So you do both function here, medially rotate, up, 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 kick back, out, up, up, up. Make sure to do the other side. In order to stretch, overall stretch is same as gluteus medius, but if you want to stretch the back posterior fiber as well, one of my favorite stretch. So from here, 90-90 here, hands gently support your body, or you can stand tall. Make sure your hips are flexed here, not extended, hip flexed. Now from here, back leg lift, wow. So it's actually also a very good way to strengthen as well because you're engaging your hips. So lift, and then you're internally rotating your hips. Make sure to do the other side. And like everybody's different side. If it's tighter or harder, you just do a little bit more rounds. Next hip abductor is our tensor fascia latae, known as TFL muscle. It is connected right by your ASIS bone, anterior superior iliac spine, from here, and then go down and connect, insert to your iliotibial tract, known as IT band. So let's talk about IT band together because they're connected. IT band is very broad sheet of fascia, relatively not elastic. It is from lateral external side of the iliac crest and go all the way down and connect to lateral side of your tibia. If you look at the fiber, it's like reed shape. So it's very strong. It's supposed to hold. So it's a knee stabilizer. A lot of people actually, whenever they say, oh, I have a tight IT band because I'm running a lot, and then use this kind of foam roller or massage gun and then just directly massaging here. If you don't know what you're doing properly, it might create inflammation on your IT band. What you want to do is very soft stretching, so you actually create the hydration on the muscles below the IT band, which is very important, but also hard if you don't know how to do it. So I like to stretch and strengthening the muscles around the IT band. Perfect option is your TFL muscles. So TFL muscle friends to gluteus minimus because they have exactly same function, also known as fire hydrant because it does same function, abduction. So you can do side leg raising, but I will show you another one, which is our fire hydrant, one of my favorite drills to strengthen the legs. So come to all fours and lift your right knee high. If you have a tight lateral hip compartment, it's gonna be hard. So you're gonna compromise to lean onto the left side. Try not to do that. No need to lift so high. Stay centered and target the TFL. Drop it down and lift. So you are abducting, you are flexing, and also medially rotating. So make sure your knees higher than your ankle. So try to avoid that. Make it parallel to the ground. And come back down. In order to stretch, you do what you just did for gluteus minimus. 90-90, drop them to the left, lean back, extend your hips, and look over right side and gently bring your hips down towards the ground. The last hip abductor is Sartorius, the longest muscle of our body. It is starting from ASIS bone, right here, and go inside, like go internally here, 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 and go around your knees and connect to mid shaft of your tibia. So it's very long. It crosses a lot of area. It does a lot of function. First function is obviously hip abductor and hip flexor, but also lateral rotator. Yeah, so this is different than gluteus medius or minimus. It's not medially rotating, it's actually externally rotating because it goes all the way to in and out. But it also, because it crosses your knees, it flexes your knees and medially rotate your knees to stabilize. In order to strengthen, you can do side raising or side lunge. And one of the drills I like is horse squats. So move your feet a little bit wider, bend your knees, externally rotating your hips. Imagine your inside of your thighs coming facing up, up, up. Now make sure your knees are not going inwards, knees pointing your second and third toe direction. And go sit deeper down. You can hang around here or you can bounce, bounce, bounce. Make sure your knees not go overly out or in. Find those center and squeeze your hips. In order to stretch, come standing, cross your right leg behind you, keeping your right leg straight. You can bend your top knee, left leg slightly. Reach arms up, grabbing your right wrist and pull it towards the left side, gently rotating towards the left side. So you are extending your hips, adducting your hips, and also internally rotating hips while you're keeping your knee extended. You don't really want to medially rotate or externally rotate your knees because you don't want to twist your knees. Okay, those were our hip abductors. Moving away from body, moving your hips to all different range of motion is the key of healthy hips and healthy back and healthy body. Thank you.